Right after taking the SAT, I was pretty nervous. All my friends said they'd done well and it was really easy, so that made me kind of nervous myself. In the past, I've had a lot of trouble with the critical reading section on the test, and this time I'd done pretty well on the vocab. I didn't miss any vocab, but what I was worried about was the passage-based questions, and some of the questions I thought were kind of ambiguous, so that made me kind of worried. Another one of my worries was the math section, and I usually power my way through the questions, and sometimes I make silly mistakes, especially in practice. But this time I didn't think I did, but I was hoping for the best. And also, the writing section is usually my best section, so I wasn't very worried about that. So overall, I thought I'd done okay, and I was hoping for the best. Well, the night before, I'd actually had a lot of homework, so I wasn't planning on waking up early to find out my SAT score, because I knew if I hadn't done well, then I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. And if I had done well, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep either. So I decided to just wait it out, and I'd check whenever I had to wake up for school. And when I did, I woke up, I logged in after a couple tries, and when I actually got in, I saw 3 800s lining the page, and my initial reaction was one of shock, and it took a little while to process naturally, and once I realized what had happened, I literally jumped up and ran to my parents' bedroom, and I shouted that I'd gotten the perfect score. And they woke up and they hugged me and kissed me, and I was pretty happy myself. I took a TestMasters prep course back in July of last summer, and I thought that really helped me. The teachers were great and everything, but I think the biggest thing that helped me in preparation for the SAT was TestMasters Exam Club. And in TestMasters Exam Club, there are over 40 SATs available for use by students, and they're previously administered SATs, which makes them prime study material. So going through those, doing SAT after SAT every Saturday and Sunday, I feel that's what prepared me best for the SAT. Definitely what I liked most about TestMasters was the teachers. And the teachers were really engaging. They never made me fall asleep in class like I do at school. So, I mean, all of the teachers were just willing to help. They were always trying to entice us with candy and other treats. And I mean, all of them were also really well qualified. They told me that they themselves had done really well on the SAT. So I think that because of the high quality of teaching at TestMasters, I was really well prepared as well. First of all, I think that the most important thing is that you are confident that you can do well on the SAT. For me, make sure that when you're going through the math section, you don't rush through. Make sure you go through at a constant pace, so doing practice will make you realize how fast you should be going. For writing, I think practice, 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 because at some point, the writing questions become sort of mechanical and you just know the answers after a couple times through. Reading is definitely the hardest section. You have to stay awake through the whole SAT, and you have to make sure that you don't assume anything from the passage. If the passage says one thing, you can't assume something else. Make sure you stick exactly to what the passage is saying. And other than that, I think you're well off. I don't have any specific plans for going into college, but I'd like to go out of state, probably into the Northeast, or Rice or UT would also be pretty good. I'd also love to go into medicine because the body is a really interesting thing. I took biology this year and it was one of my favorite courses. Ideally, I'd also like to do neurology or cardiovascular as my career choice later.